I don't do this when I'm not doing this. Limiting beliefs in binary. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, binary means two things, right? You have two choices. It's this or that, right? It's 0 or 1. That's binary code language, zeros and ones. Binary literally just means two. There are two things. It's this thing or it's that thing. Usually they're the opposite thing. But really, it's just, I find, are you like me? Are you like me? Are you a spiritual being on a human adventure here in the amusement park? You got your amusement park pants on and you feel like, I want to do this thing or I want to do that thing. And those are the only two choices, right? That's it. Those are the only two choices you have. And suddenly you become like, you get this, I almost wanted to say myopic, but that's singular. So it's like a binary myopic. You only have two things. You can do this or that, and that's it. There's nothing in the middle, and to me it just kind of feels like sometimes that I present myself with these choices, this thing or this thing, and I try one and I'm like, oh, that didn't work, so I try the other one. I'm like, that didn't work, so I try the other one again, a little different. I'm like, that didn't work, so I try this one again, and I feel like I'm on this hamster wheel, right? Have you ever felt like you're on a hamster wheel in life, and you just going through the motions of things? It's hard sometimes, and you find yourself right back where you started, and maybe it's 6 months later, maybe it's a year later, maybe it's 15 years later, right? And you're just like, I'm here again. How the hell did this happen? Well, one of the reasons that I think that happens is because we present ourselves with these binary choices, and so I've got three things to say about that in case you were wondering. Will he still do his three? Yes. So the answer is yes. So number one is it's what we're taught. So first of all, let's just give ourselves a break because we grew up this way. True or false tests, right? It's like everything in life is like, do you want this for lunch or do you want that for lunch? Are you going to vote for this party? If you live in the United States, we have two parties. I mean, we have literally two choices for everything. Even and I know in some of your other countries you have multiple choices, and that's nice. I think, but it's like it's right or wrong. Things are right or wrong. Things are black or white. Things are these things are just clear cut. This is good and this is bad, and that's it. There's no discussion. There's no and we kind of grow up thinking in those terms. When I was a kid, I used to watch The Lone Ranger on TV. Now, by the way, I'm not old enough to have watched it when it was on. I used to. It was in syndication. I used to watch it when it was on. In the afternoons, and I liked that show, and it was cool, and I liked shows like that. But even things like that, like our culture for going back decades, really tried to present everything in this black and white kind of right and wrong, good guys versus bad guys. The Lone Ranger was good, and he wore a white hat, and the bad guys wore black hats and had these weird mustaches that they twirled, and I mean, it was so over the top ridiculous, and life's not really like that, is it? But we grew up seeing things like that and expecting life to just continue like that even though we see in the real world that it's not really like that, we still try to compartmentalize things into good, bad, or A and B, and I have to choose one, and I think that we do that, so we always give ourselves two choices, and that's number one. Number two is this locks you into a false choice. It's very frustrating. It limits you to now, I have to make a choice. Do I want this thing or do I want that thing? And now they both suck. Neither one of them is the right thing, because the real answer is we live in this world of spectrums. We live in this world of vast gray areas, and sometimes this one's good and sometimes this one's good, or there are things about this one that are good and things about that one that are good, and holy shit, I didn't even see this one, and it's like we put ourselves in, we put these blinders on ourselves so that we can make sense of the world around us. But really, if we were able to just kind of open our minds a little bit to the possibilities that there were millions of choices and they could all be right, I think life would get a lot easier, which is kind of where I'm going with things for myself right now. because it's really frustrating when you give yourself these false choices, which leads me to number 3, which is we can reject this. We do not have to create false choices for ourselves. We do not have to give ourselves 2 choices. Maybe for you it's 3 choices, whatever. Binary is arbitrary. It could be you give yourself 3 or 4 choices, but you always are stuck between these certain things. For me, it's always 2 choices. Do I want to do this or do I want to do that thing? And those are the only 2 things. Everything else is like, those aren't even choices, So it's like we can reject this paradigm. We can completely reject this, and that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm back doing this. Because the reason that I stopped doing Daily Fuel was because when I started doing Daily Fuel in this group, I was really pumped about everything because I love doing this. I really do love doing this, but there are days when I don't feel like doing this, except I created this thing where I said to myself, well, if I'm going to do this, then I have to do it 6 days a week for every day a week for the rest of my life, and I can't ever stop, and I can't ever take a break, and I can't ever do, and all of a sudden I just got like, oh my God, I could either do this perfectly or I could not do it at all. Those are my 2 choices. Well, I realized I wasn't able to do it imperfectly anymore. I wasn't able to do it perfectly anymore, not imperfectly. I was trying to do it perfectly, and I wasn't able to. Sometimes it was easy. Sometimes I was really in that groove. Sometimes I was not, and I would make excuses for it, and be hard on myself for it because it's like, I don't understand. I know I want to do this, but right now it's feeling like a chore. It's feeling like, oh man, I just want to go make this comic book instead. And now I'm working on the comic book, and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe this was wrong. Maybe I want to do this thing, So we can reject this paradigm. And now I want to explain to you, before I get to the comments, now I want to explain to you why I have changed the name of the group again, and why it's a cosmetic change. Every time I've changed things in this group, they've always been, if you've noticed, a cosmetic change. I haven't really changed much about the core essence of the group, except in the first week that it started, because I realized I did this wrong. But then I fixed it, and it stayed the same. It's always been this spiritual artist thing. I've just been trying to figure out like how to label it, and I've gotten okay with the fact that I think as I grow and learn more about myself, I need to present it differently. So I'm not going to stand here and be like, I promise that's the last time I'm going to change the name. I don't know that. I might change it again 2 times this year. I have no idea. Once we reach a certain threshold, you're not allowed to change the URL anymore, but I don't give a shit. I've already used enough URLs that all of them are good. If you went to facebook.com/group/Quantasy, it still shows up here, or Art Fueled Life, it shows up here. Now Spear Archual. Did I even say that in the beginning of this live? I'm not used to it yet. So Spear Archual, that's kind of how I'm saying it. I'm trying to make it flow off the tongue, but our friend Graham wrote it in a comment the other day. I was asking the question, do you think of this group as more spiritual or art based? And most of your answers were both, or a blending of both, or I thought it was one and then the other one became important. And I realized the answer was what I was expecting, was that it's both, And Graham wrote, I hope I'm saying your name right. He wrote Spear Archual with a capital A, and I was like, that's killer. That's the word I've been looking for from the beginning of this, because I like, Quantasy. It's Quantum Odyssey. I like Fuel Blue. I combine words and stuff. It's what I like that, and I was really upset that I didn't come up with that, but he did, and I asked him, hey, can I use that? And he said no, and I said, well, I don't give a shit, and I'm using it anyway. No, I'm kidding. He said yes, and it's Spear Archual. And I love it, spiritual, Spear Archual. And in case you're like, what does that mean? That's what it means. So I'm excited about it, and it fits what I'm doing now. And very briefly, because I want to get to all of your comments, and I appreciate you sticking with me this long. Actually, it hasn't been that long. I've been talking really fast. I feel like I've been talking for a half an hour. It's been 12 minutes. And that includes all of this crap. Let me take a breath, I mean. Ray's probably going, oh my God, take a breath already. And I forgot my water. And so I'm looking to see, my son's in the room. He's got, Luke! Whatever, he can't hear me. He's got earbuds in. So Spiritual is the name of the group. Now, for many years, I have been working on different projects for myself. When I started my business, it was a web design, graphic design, branding, and marketing kind of a business. And I gave myself this binary choice that I could either do that or I could do something that was more artistic and like from my heart and soul, you know? And the thing is that I would always try one of those artistic things. Like I would try this Be a Rock Star project that I had in mind. Or I would try Planet Bonehead, which is my TV show for kids about the environment and science. Or my music, right? Or this comic book thing idea, this idea that I have, and I would always get tired of web design and be like, nah, I want to try one of my artistic things, and I'm like, I'm going to do this, and I would really put a lot of time and effort into say like Planet Bonehead, and I would really work on it, and then it would get to a point where it was like, maybe the money wasn't happening fast enough, and now it's like, crap, I gotta go get a client, and I would go back to web design, and or sometimes there were even times where I would go back to web design and be like, I really enjoy this, and there were parts about it that I liked, and I'd be like, why did I stop working hard on this? If I just had kept working on this would be a killer business by now. And I'd like be kicking myself, like, why don't I just stick to one thing, you know? And that's a thing that they teach you in like, pick a niche, pick a thing that you're good at, and just pound on it until everybody realizes that that's the thing you do, and then you're a millionaire. You know, that's like, it's something like that. I don't know exactly how that works, but that's what they teach. And it doesn't work for me because I get bored of that one thing constantly. And so I thought, well, there must be something wrong with me, because look at these people who are doing that. And like this one over here, I've been watching her or him do this thing for 15 years. And they're every day they wake up and they wear the same shirt and they talk about the same crap, and they haven't stopped. You know, they haven't stopped, and now they're on this TV show or that TV. And me, I'm like, oh no, now I want to work on this, and now I want to work on this, and now I want to work on this. And I gave myself this idea that if I want to have all of these different things, then that would mean that if I make a comic book and a TV show for kids and a thing about web design and a thing about this and a thing about that and a spiritual show, and it's like those are all different audiences, and those are all different topics, and it's like, oh my god, I would need like 15 websites and 15 different Facebook pages and ad programs, and it's like I'd break my week into like little segments because I have to make content every single week because that's what you have to do, and oh my god, the rules were just so constricting and so hard that I couldn't see how to do it. And then I started this group, and I remember in 2020, 2020 was a weird year. I don't know if you remember 2020. It was weird. There are some weird things going on that year, in my life anyway. I don't know about your life. But, so I remember taking the time off during lockdowns and stuff, and I just said, I'm going to figure this out for myself. And I was hoping that by the end of 2020, I'd be like, I figured it out. That's not how it went. And I'm not even saying that I figured it out now, because I think I figured it out the next step is what I'm saying now, because I've said I figured it out 100,000 times, and guess what? The next day I learned some other shit, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't know that. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to learn more tomorrow. I hope, you know. But here's one thing that I have figured out is that I am not creating this project or this project or this project or this project. None of these things are the thing. The thing is this. I'm the thing. And I am what I'm bringing to the table. It's me. I'm bringing me to the table. And I think that a lot of people in this group are going to like the group. They're just going to like the group. They're going to like the atmosphere. They're going to like the content. They're going to like sharing their art. They're going to like seeing other people's art. And I might not have a lot to do with that personally, because they just like this space that I've created and that you guys have helped me to build, to the energy here is a collective energy, and a lot of people are going to be into that, and that's cool, you know, and and I have quantity, which is going to be my spiritual content. And some people are going to like that part of what I talk about. And for them, I'm going to talk about that when it comes out, because it just comes out. And I also like to talk about business stuff, and that's going to be my Be a Rockstar stuff. And sometimes I'm just going to be like, guys, I am really like gung ho about this right now, and I want to talk about that. And some people might tune me out because they're not in business and they don't care. They're more into the spiritual stuff. But I always sprinkle the spiritual stuff into the business. There's a blending. It's not this or this. And I always thought it was this thing or this thing. Is it business or is it spiritual? It's this. It's just everything. It's this human thing that we're doing. This adventure that we're on. And it's like you don't go to the amusement park and ride one ride. I want to ride all the rides. And I want to ride all the rides. And I realize Planet Bonehead is the same thing. It's a different topic. It's still me. And I'm still bringing out what I want to talk about and put it into this thing that's me. And my comic book and my music, that's like, I've got all this stuff that I'm talking about. Let me put it in a fictional story. And that's that, It's really hard being me. And but it's cool. It's cool being me because this stuff doesn't stop. And I don't have to I'm still calling it Daily Fuel, but I'm not forcing myself to do this 6 days a week. I'm kind of challenging myself right now. I'm scheduling it to be 4 days a week, Monday to Thursday, but I might skip a day here or there. I might tell you, hey guys, I need 3 days off. You know what I mean? And I don't think, I just took however many months, weeks off, and like 4 people left the group. And I say, hey, we're doing it again, and everybody shows up. So I know we've got something here, and I want to keep it going, but I'm not going to implement these rules on myself that when I hit a wall, I go, oh, I failed. I'm not doing this anymore. My son dropped something, right? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be like, guys, I'm just not into this today. I'm going to do this instead. And, but you know that I love talking about this stuff. So sometimes, a lot of times, I think Daily Fuel is going to still be the same spiritual kind of stuff. Sometimes it's going to be the business stuff, which I've already been sprinkling in. Sometimes I'm going to be really into my music and comic project, and I might just do a live singing performance instead of have something to talk about. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And sometimes I'm going to be working on Planet Bonehead, and I was thinking I could do interviews with green tech people, but bring it into our world. Talk about, like, I've had conversations with like green tech CEOs about how it's very important for people to be using their art skills and their marketing skills to bring the message of what they're working on to the world to help solve environmental issues. So if that's your thing, check those things out. But that's what I'm doing, and I want you guys to be a part of that. And that's why the center of all of this is Spiritual. It's this group. Everybody who's going to be in my world in anything is coming through this group. They're going to see the ad that I've got out there that a lot of you saw and came to hear. They're going to like the page. I'm going to ask you to join the group, and then I'm going to have challenges where we're going to bring our friends into the group, and we're going to grow this group and grow it bigger and bigger and stronger, and just make it a place that is amazing for all of us. And every single person can get whatever it is that they want to get out of it and put into it whatever it is they want to put into it. And I'll be here kind of just doing my thing and running the show. And that's what I'm doing. So let me stop there and go back, because I see some essays here. I see not much has changed. So okay, okay. Wow. Okay, let me see. I had to go back way further than I thought. Facebook user, hello. All right, so I see a lot of Facebook users here. I'm going to say to everybody, here's the deal. If I don't know who it is, I've got it on my phone here, and I can kind of go through. Let me see, who is this? Hello. Karina made it. Who said hello after that? Robin. Did I skip Robin? Hi, everybody. Hello, Bobby. Bobby, right, I got that one. Wow, long time. Oh, it just jumped. Why did it do that? Jesse said hello. Hello. Jesse, do me a favor and click that link again. It's in the description of this post. I'll try to remember to tag everybody that that is coming up Facebook user. If you're wondering what this is all about, this is a private Facebook group, so there are privacy restrictions, and in order for me to see things, you need to give my software permission to show me your face. It can't just do it because of the privacy settings of Facebook groups. It's a Facebook setting. Occasionally, Facebook changes the things, and the fact that you clicked the link last year or last month or last week is irrelevant, and we all have to do it again. So I let everybody know. Amy says, "Wow, long time no see." Robin, I remembered to mention your name. Thank you. Where did the things go? What up? That's Hector. Hector, what's up, buddy? If you could click that link, I would appreciate it. And Deb, also, you need to click the link. Hi, Bobby and co. Hi, Deb. How are you? So, guys, if you, I see Karina click the link. Okay, Robin, I finally remembered to post icons. Sunglasses times are coming. Yay. Yes, they are. Robin, I can see you anyway. So, thank you for that. Karina, I clicked the link. Thank you. I don't know if it worked because I was already signed in. Spoiler alert. It worked. So that's good. The struggle of duality. Yeah, that would have been a really good word title for this one. Thanks for suggesting it after the fact. The struggle of duality. It is a struggle. And I'm not sure if I really honed in on this, but in my point number 2 is that it's a false choice, and it is a frustrating choice. And we think that the problem is I picked the wrong one, right? It's really funny. I was just reading an article about how because we here in the United States we have midterm elections coming up in 100 months, so we have to talk about it now. And they're saying how these people are going to lose because of this thing happened, and it's just the same crap. Year after year after year. These people got elected and they tried a thing, or they said a thing, or they did a thing, and it's like, we don't like that, so let's try these guys again, right? And it's like, we don't like that. It's like we don't try something long enough to see if it works. We just go, and that's what we go back and forth and back and forth. But we do that in life. It's like, which one I'll try this one. I'll try this one. This is the one. Well, I figured it out. It's this one. I just did it wrong the first time. And wait, what is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You didn't notice that it's a blending of this and this and this and this and this and this and that. It's too much. It's too many things, and we weren't taught to think that way. You gotta start thinking that way. Is this really my choice? Are these my only choices? Who is this? Vic. Hey, Vic. How you doing? Hello. Vic says, hello, Bobby. Good to see you back, mister. Thank you. I appreciate that. Vic, you have to... I'm going to have to go through this and tell everybody to click the link. Kelly, I missed your mind musing my own. You are amusing. Thank you. Really fits the amusement park. I'm amusing, right? Obviously, you wore the right pants, not the wrong pants. Non-binary amusement park pants. Good choice. There you go. Very good. Yeah, I miss doing this. No wrong choices, all divinely supported. There really is no wrong choice, right? Abraham says this, that no matter where you are, you can put your boat in the water from here. It doesn't matter if you feel like you've got to choose this or this or this. It doesn't matter what you choose. You can choose something and make it the right choice and go from there. So think about that as well. Nathan, full spectrum of choices. Yes, you are allowed to. Oh wait, there was something that here's a number 4, right? I was thinking of this and I forgot to write it down. Number 4, you are allowed to change your mind at any time for any reason. You're allowed to do that. Just because you announced to the world, I figured it out, and that's the other thing, right? We do that a lot. I figured it out. I know what I'm doing now. I know what I want to be when I grow up. I know what I'm doing now. I know what my business is. I know what I'm going to work on. I know what I need to do. I know what I did wrong the last time. And we get this sense of like, oh yeah, I feel empowered. And we just want to express it in a way, so we put ourselves in a new box that's like, I figured it out and I'm never going to be wrong again. Watch. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I'm wrong. So, but now we feel dumb. Now we feel like, oh, I can't change again. I just told them how great this new choice is. I figured it out. I can't go back to them and say, I was wrong, but I figured it out this time. This time it's this thing, right? No, I can't say that because they're all going to be like, yeah. Oh, it's that thing. Sure. So don't worry about it. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It's your life, so you get to decide. This is right. Nah, it's wrong. Nah, this is right. Nah, it's wrong. You know what? I'm saying maybe it's a little bit of everything. That's what I'm feeling. And maybe it's not for you. Don't do things the same way I'm doing them. Figure out what I'm saying is I'm figuring out what works for me, and I don't care what you think, so I'm doing it. And that's what you should do. Or else I'll be mad. Kirsten, how many times do you get paralyzed trying to make a choice? Yeah, paralysis by analysis, right? Then you do nothing. That's the other thing is sometimes you're like, you don't do either. You feel like you only have two choices and neither one seems perfect, right? Oh, this one would be good except for that thing. And this one would be okay because it's got that thing, except it's also got this other thing that I don't like. And this one doesn't have that, but it's got that thing. And then this wouldn't work out. Then you're like, I don't know which one to do. And some people, see, I'm the kind of person who's like, I'll give this one a shot. And I go with it, But some people go, I'll look at that later and I'm just not going to do anything. I'll just stand here. That's another way to go. That's also a false choice that now you're saying like it could either be this or it could be this. Those are my only two choices and they both stink. So I'm going to do nothing. That's not fun. That doesn't work out very well because that's now you're on the hamster wheel, except you're not even spinning. You're just standing there. I mean, at least the hamster, when he's spinning, it's kind of fun. It's a little exercise. Now you're just not doing anything. You're standing on a treadmill and it's off. I got 33 likes so far. Look at that. 33 thumbs up. Melinda says, hi all. Hi, Melinda. How are you? Having no reaction is still a choice. That's right. This group, like you and all of us, are constantly evolving projects. Yes. The new paradigm of allowing the flow to move through us and accept it without attaching to outcome, not trying to conduct it from some perceived accomplished outcome. In short, learning to go with the flow. Yes, right. We're just letting it kind of move with us and we're in the flow of it rather than saying we have to get over there and the thing's moving this way, so let's divert it over to this way. Get off my screen, right? And instead of doing that, we're just going like it's going here now it's going here, and now it's going here, and now I'm kind of feeling this thing, and ooh, I never noticed those things over there. Let me go look at them for a little while. Never even thought of that. There could be a thing that I want to work on that I've never even thought of before. God, I hope not. I got enough shit going on. I don't need another thing. Oh my God, this sounds like my life. Who is that? That is Deb. Deb, yeah. Oh my God, this sounds like my life. Yeah, well, I think so. I don't think that I'm weird. I think that I am an outspoken advocate for what a lot of us feel sometimes. I just have this knack for putting it into ridiculous language that we can all go, oh yeah, right? It's like, that's why we're here, because we all feel this way. And it makes it difficult, except it's really not, because the solution is relatively simple. It's, wait a minute, I don't have to pick the right one. I don't have to pick either one. And I can cherry pick the pieces of each one that I like, and I'm allowed to change my mind later and be like, you know what? I don't have the bandwidth to do this whole thing. Let me just try this piece of this thing today, and maybe tomorrow I'll try this other piece. We're allowed to do that. You know why we don't think we're allowed to do that? I put things in the perspective of business a lot, because that's where I'm constantly frustrated with this. And think about the last 100 years or so or more of business in the world. When my parents were my age and younger, it was get a job, and work there for 40, 50 years and retire, and you get a gold watch and a pension or something like that. That was the American dream. It wasn't even the American way. It was the American dream. Oh my God, a dream. if I could just get that job and work in that cubicle and look at the same 5 people's stupid faces for 40 years, that would be amazing, right? And live in that house and have that family and do the things and have to get the car and pay those bills. And it's like, that's the dream. It's like it was made right for you. It's like, hey, here's your dream. It's like, oh, that's my dream. Well, I guess, because everybody seems to want it. And if I want something else, that's kind of weird, right? And frowned upon. You're causing waves, you know? Spiritual artists, we're wave causers. We're surfers, maybe. You know, I don't know. You know, I think the waves are always there. Everybody's bucking them, and everybody's trying to pretend they're not there. I don't see that. You know, everybody's like bracing for them. It hits. It's like, nah, I got my dream. I got to stay here. And we're like, fuck this, and get on our surfboards and we go, and let's see where it takes us. Wait, did I skip something? I did. Yes, Kirsten says, yes. I feel the balancing of corporate and creative projects. I know you do. It ebbs and flows with me too, along with the frustration. It ebbs and flows with me also, right? That's what you mean. Along with the frustration. Yeah, right. I am so into web stuff sometimes. I am so into Planet Bonehead sometimes. I am so into branding and marketing sometimes. I am so into just working on this comic or writing this song sometimes. I am so into the spiritual stuff sometimes. I am so into all of it sometimes. I am so into some part of it all the time. Because all the time, I'm me. I'm always me. I don't wake up some days being like, I don't want to be me today. I want to be into this other stuff today. You know, everything fits into who I am, and I can feel it and I can see it. The problem for me was that I thought the people who like this won't like this, and the people who like that won't like that, and the people who like this won't like that. So I got to pick one. And that's the only thing I'm allowed to do. Or if I want to do more than one, I have to run them all on a consistent basis, and I can never pause any of them, because once I pause, now I failed. These are hard rules to live by, because they're impossible. First of all, they are impossible to live by. We're not built that way. I so feel that right now. I know. I feel that as well. That's why I'm saying it. Nathan says, suppressing a feeling doesn't make it go away. No, it makes it get stronger, right? It only pushes it deeper into the unconscious. By this action, we internalize the problem. Yeah. It's why we age. It's why we get sick. It's why we get chronically unhealthy or chronically sad. We're not supposed to be any of those things ever. We're supposed to be like frolicking through the fields, being like, this is amazing. I get to do this today, and tomorrow I get to do that thing. Instead, we're going like, I have to do this, and I have to do it every day, and I have to do it the same way, with the same people, on the same schedule, and the same this, and the same that, and it's never allowed to change. The end. Doesn't work. Do it all. Do it all. Very good. Ugh, I am so hating the thought of block timing. Oh my God, can I tell you how many times, right? Because think about this. I know what you're talking about. If you don't know what block timing is, it's when you say, I've got these 15 things that I have to do every week for these projects that I'm working on, and I'm going to, on Monday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., that's my time to work on this thing. And then from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., that's my time to work on this other thing. And from 5 to 6, that's when I go and I have dinner. And then what happens? The first day comes up, you're like, I'm ready to do this. And you got this blocked out for the whole week for all your projects or all your tasks or all your whatever. And then the first day pops up. It's like, okay, it's Monday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm supposed to work on this thing. Wow, I don't feel like working on that thing today, though. But I'm just not feeling that, you know? I mean, we're artists. I got to feel the energy flowing for this. I'm not a machine. I don't just turn on and start painting or crafting or singing or doing. I got to feel it, you know? And I'm not practiced with this schedule yet. And you know what? Maybe I'll switch this to Tuesdays and on and suddenly now you're just like, I failed. It's the first day and I've already failed at this. I already suck. I'm already behind schedule. I'll never catch up, and I'm gonna die alone and unhappy. These are the things. Block timing. Yeah, don't. If it works for you, do it. It does not work for me, so I don't do it. Well, here we go. An essay. Hi, Amy. Hang on. Wow, 15 minutes in and you've already solved an issue I've been wrestling with for 3 months. Because I limited myself to 2 choices and I just couldn't decide, so I've been yo-yoing in the middle. Not really being my epic self, free to create and enjoy the moment of what I initially wanted to create, but now, like a light bulb exploding, you've literally just made me see there's a different choice I can make. And breathe. Numpty, you forgot the water again. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's unusual because I usually have water down here and I don't know why I don't. Where'd you go? Good to have you back. It's good to be back. Thank you. And I appreciate that everybody's still here, I was talking about what to do with this group, and there were days where I was just like, I just want to close it and forget it, and then I'd be like, don't do that. That's you're gonna regret that immediately. And I would watch. There were days where I would watch, and it's like I hadn't posted or commented or even liked a thing in a week, say, and I would watch, and I'd be like, they're still posting, they're still talking to each other. It's not just on me to keep the energy flowing. We're all flowing together. And if I need to be me for a minute, I think what happened is I figured out how to be me without disappearing. I figured it out, right? I figured it out. I figured out how to be me without disappearing. Because, but you know what? I might still need to disappear. And it was winter too, and I like to hibernate in the winter. So I need to be okay with that. And that's why I called this season 3. If you noticed, I had been saying phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I decided that the 2020 videos, that's season 1, and the 2021 videos, I just clumped them all together and I said that's season 2. And I'm calling this season 3 because when you think about it, your favorite shows, they have seasons or series if you're in the UK or something like that. And when the series comes out, you watch it. And maybe it's week to week or something like that. But it's not every week, continual, forever and ever and ever. Maybe they say, hey, we're going to, take a break and go write some new scripts and film that stuff. And maybe sometimes I'm going to need to take a break. Okay, season 3 is over and I'm going to take a break and come back with season 4 in a short while. And now everybody will be like, okay, well, that doesn't mean that we're closing the group or anything like that, because I'm not doing that. But it does mean that, maybe I just need a freaking break. So maybe that's going to be what happens. I don't know. We'll see. Where am I? Oh, Melinda. I am pretty sure I have figured out exactly nothing out. I figured exactly nothing out. Yeah, you know what? I don't think we really figure anything out to the point where now we know the answer. There is no answer to know, because now any answer that you find is, think of it as a mountain that never stops going up. We've reached a new plateau. And now, as my friend Landon says, I've reached this new plateau, this top of this mountain. And now that I'm here, I can see there's a shitload of new mountains out there that I have to climb. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know they were even there. I didn't even know they were there. But if we feel like I need to figure out the answer and now there's nothing left to learn, we're constantly going to feel like a failure because there's always the next thing to learn. So we can say, I figured it out, and we in this group won't hold that against each other. I finally figured it out. Because in a week from now, you're going to be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Nathan, man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. Ooh. I like that. I'm not a excuse me. I'm not a sailor, but that's cool. Blended, woven, interconnect, constant, infinite source loop. I think you're saying words. I was probably looking for a word, and you're throwing them out there, and I don't know what you're talking about. So, but those are nice words. Robin, there's Robin. Robin, I think one answer to your quandary as to which is right, this talking or your comic thing, but I think it's both, right? For whenever. And it's good you have more than one thing you like, so you can rotate. Ah, yes, Robin, you're right on the mark. Then, to break up any boredom or logjam or whatever, just get refreshed enough to get going again. None of them are inherently better than the other. They all have their particular characteristics and attributes, so they are all valid. So don't stress about spending too much time on any one thing. It's all good. Party cake. Very good. Yeah. Thank you, Robin. That's a really good way to say it all. One person that I look to for inspiration sometimes. I don't know if you remember when I first started doing Daily Fuel. I had this short series that I did about this artist is awesome, and each week I would do a different artist. And the first one I did was Jared Leto from. He's an actor, and he's also you might know him as an actor, you might know him as a singer. He's a lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, rock band that I really like. And the guy, to me, is just pretty incredible because he'll come out with an album and then he'll do a little world tour, and then he'll go and he'll be in this movie and he'll be in that movie, and he'll do some other things with his projects that he does on his own time, and then it'll be like 5 years and a new album will come out. And he's not just this and he's not just that. He's Jared Leto. He's just him. And he's his own brand, and he's like, yeah, right now I'm into this thing, and that's what he's producing. And the people who like that. And then he's doing this movie, and he's like, and the people who like that, and they don't have to be the same people, but they all go, he's cool, I like him, and I realized that everything that I do is me. I am bringing me to the table in different ways. And if you like me, you might like all the things that I do. You might like one of the things that I do. It doesn't matter. You're allowed to partake in whatever you like and forget about whatever you don't like. But you gotta like them all. Yes, sustainable art. Yeah, it makes it sustainable, right? It makes being me sustainable because I don't ever have to feel this stress of, oh man, I don't feel like doing this, but if I don't do it, I have failed. No, I don't feel like doing this one thing, It's like I buy a new shirt and I say, well, now I have to wear this shirt every day, even when I'm sleeping. That's ridiculous. I'm not constantly wearing the same clothes. Although it looks like I am on these lives. I'm not constantly working on the same projects. Even within things, I have different episodes of Planet Bonehead. I have different clients for my web design company. Right? You know what I mean? It's like I'm not constantly working on one thing. It needs to be sustainable, and for me, sustainable means variety. This is so in tune with an idea I am nurturing. Says Kelly, grateful for the divine alignment of all that received a message of harmony in Bobby's melody sung today. Great. I'm really happy to hear that. I think that there is an alignment in the energy of this group, which is why we are like the way that we are, and it's not everybody every single day, but there's enough of it occasionally that we all go, wow, this, I can't tell you how many times I've done a live and somebody, even today, it's already happened, has said, like, this is exactly what's going on in my life today, and it's wonderful to see, and I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Finally, you've got it. I got it. I figured it out. There's nothing else to learn. I got it. Keep breathing and growing. Hugs. Thank you. Facebook user says, oh, I have not been keeping up on the phone. Man cannot, yes, sustainable art, Kelly, this is so finally. Jesse, hi Jesse. Jesse says, the beauty in being creative is the multiple ideas and perspectives. Just gotta have patience, Padawan. Yeah, there are multiple ideas and perspectives, and I think that we close ourselves off. It's this perspective and that's it, or well, maybe it's this one too, and that's it. I can choose one or the other. And a lot of times we lock ourselves into one and we try to force it even. I could have done it that way. I could have done today's live that way. We give ourselves one choice and we lock into it and we just try it over and over again. And we're trying to squeeze everything into this little box because that's it. It's not it. And that's not what we are. We're infinite beings. Well, at least I am. I don't know about you people. Hello. Am I good? No. Who's that? It's Leroy. Hey, Leroy, how you doing? Leroy, how you doing? Welcome. Have you been on Daily Fuel before? It's been so long. I apologize. I don't remember. You're good. I can see you on my phone. On Facebook, you can see, but I'm using a software that has privacy settings, so you need to click the link in the description of this live, and it will, you can say, give Ecamm Live permission to show your face on the lives. You're good. I can figure out who you are. I can see your comment. I just don't know that it's you unless I look on my phone. You only have to do it once, theoretically, until Facebook makes changes, and then we all have to do it again. Nathan, make sure what you do is a product of your own conclusion. Oh, that's a good point, Nathan. You know, like sometimes we'll make a choice, even if the choice is combining things, but we'll make the choice because we're worried about what other people might think. Is that what you're getting at? Or we're just following the pack, you know? So your intuition, your inner being, your source, your whatever word you like for it, is constantly telling you it's this way, it's this way, it's this way. It's leading you along, and it's really you leading yourself along, and you know the path. So, you know, as Nathan says, make sure it's the product of your own conclusion. Even if you don't know the next exact step for you might be testing things out. Let me try this and this and this and see which one I like. That might be your best next step. Amy, you're allowed to change your amusement park pants. As often as you like. Yes. If you go into the amusement park wearing a specific pair of pants, you are not required to wear those pants until the end of the day. You can change. You can change your mind. Robin, yes. I like when you guys just say yes. I don't know what I said that you're like, oh, that's so good. I have to write yes. Keep doing it. I love it. Yes, there are no wrong choices, because if you make a screwy one, you can always undo it by going to your plan A, B, C, or D, on and on and on, until you get something that works. Yeah, and the other point that I'm making is that sometimes it works for a little while, and then you got to go to the next thing. And it doesn't mean that the thing, now that it's not working, is a failure. It just means I'm not into it right now. Am I good now? Yep. Good to see you back on. Yep, good to see you back on. Excuse me. Shiz, I'm late. LOL. We got to start over. Donna's here. How you doing? How you doing, Donna? Got to start over. Okay, you ready? I missed you. I missed you too. Just you, Donna. Nobody else. Nathan says, making choices are like walking in the fog. The further you walk, the more you can see. You know what? I like that. And it kind of reminds me of, there was a live that I did last year called You Are the Light. And basically the idea was that the path that you want to take from your vantage point looks pitch black. It's dark. And so a lot of times we'll take the lit up path. We'll take that path or this other path or whatever, because other people are doing that already. It's the American dream, right? It's all lit up for you. You can see exactly what you're doing. You get this job, you work here, you do this, you get that, you blah, 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 right? It's all laid out for you, and right up until the day you're dead. It's a dream, right? It's like to do this, and you're just like, oh man, and then we're all proud of ourselves. Yep, I got my 401k, and I got my thing, and I got my that, and I got my SUV, and the dog is running in the yard, and blah blah blah, 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 right? And everyone's like, oh well, very good. Yep, oh, you're doing it, and you know, or you're not doing it, and now you feel like, oh, what's wrong with me? I don't have that insurance policy, or I don't have this thing, or I don't have that other thing, or my car is the wrong color, or whatever. Where was it? Oh, and so the path you want to take, I forgot why I was even saying any of this crap. The path you want to take is pitch black, which is why it's so scary, and a lot of people don't take it. We take the ones that are already lit up for us by everybody else. But the one that's pitch black is the one that's actually your path. Why is it pitch black? Because you're the friggin' light. The light won't shine on that path until you step onto it. Now you're the light, and it lights up, and you can see not the whole thing, not all the way to the end, because it's your path, and it hasn't been lived yet, it hasn't been done yet, it hasn't been seen yet, and it might not even be built yet. You're going to build it. It's going to be built as you walk it. But it's always going to be there, and it's always going to be ready for you, and it will be built enough for you to step somewhere. You're not going to fall off a cliff. But you got to keep going. You got to keep going into that fog, as he just said, or onto the dark path, as I always said, and it will light up as you go, because you're the light. If it's already lit up, it means somebody else did it, and they're trying to sell you something. Don't buy it. Artvocate. Oh, that's cool. An artful advocate. That's nice. See, you're getting into words too. Hector says, wave causers. I like that. Yeah, we're the wave causers. I like that too. Yeah, fuck this wheel. The hamster wheel? Oh, man. Collaborate them all. I must have said something, and I don't remember what I said. Thank you so much for being you. Well, I know what that means. That means I'm awesome. Thank you for saying that. You're welcome. I assume you're talking to me. Unless that's a comment on somebody else's comment. I'm going to pretend it's me. Actually, from having to endure and change my life in ways... you know what? Hang on. I need something, and all I have is my coffee. That's almost good enough. It's really not, but it's better than nothing. Actually, from having to endure and change my life in ways I never would have imagined, I have had to engage in art through the internet, and in seeing so many artists, I am finding that I am seeing in so many instances that so many are very creative and different. You did it to me. Damn it. You did it to me, Robin. Do you do it on purpose now? Directions for themselves. And they all seem so talented. I'm more than one endeavor, in more than one endeavor, even all at the same time. So all good. A continuation again. Damn. Oh, I needed that. Thanks. I was hoping there'd be a good laugh on this one. You always deliver. Yeah, I'm sorry, what you were saying though, now we've completely gotten past what you were saying, is that being here in the group, you're seeing all these people being so good at so many different things. And I think that even if there's some people here that create in one realm all the time, that's their thing, and that's okay. My thing happens to be in a lot of different things, and I've had a hard time with that. And if you're feeling like you're stuck in one thing and you really want to branch out to these other things, you're allowed to do that, is what I'm saying here. Oh, man. Facebook user. Where am I? Actually, okay. Yes, Deb. Deb says, yes, been letting go of sense of failure. Yeah, we can really feel like failures when we're not living up to either that dream that everybody else seems to be living by, or the fact that we thought we had it all figured out, but now something's amiss, you know? None of this is failure. All it is growth and learning, and the waves are shifting, and we're going with it. Just go with it. You're never a failure. Nice of you to show up, Donna. Donna. And boobs. Donna's like, all right, I'm done. Time for the booby prize. Wrap this one up, dude. Oh, Robin. And Booby. Okay, yep. And Melinda. Oh, that's the last comment. So far, Melinda has the booby prize. Nope. Large boobs, says Donna. But Robin, as usual, swoops in and is now at the bottom. But by the time I finish reading this, you guys are going to write 15 things. No, not on purpose. I thought I almost was going to get away without anyone break, but no. It's okay. It's okay. I love them. Melinda, smiley face, and Donna's boobs. Who wants Donna's boobs? That's the prize for today. Well, Amy gets the booby prize tonight, and I'm going to call this one. Thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow. Pay attention to the time. I'm going to be, it might be 5:30 every day. It might be different times because last time when I was doing lives, we had certain things going on in our house where my daughter was going to school or work rather, and everybody was coming home late. So 6:30 was the perfect time, and now none of that crap's going on. So 6:30, it doesn't really work here right now. It's already 6:30. Wow, this one went an hour. And so we will, I'll probably land on a regular time. I'll probably try 5:30 again tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not sure. And also this week, my son's off from school. So next week when homework starts up again, I'm going to have to figure it out. Of course, we will. Thanks, Bobby. Heart. And Facebook user swoops in with the booby prize. Who's that? That's Vic. Vic, you get the booby prize. You probably never won a booby prize before. The rest of you people did. So you know what? Vic gets it today. Unless I've said this before, then whatever. Nope, Nathan gets it. Self-actualizing does not mean a transcendence of all human problems. Conflict, anxiety, frustration, sadness, hurt, and guilt can all be found in healthy human beings. So it does not mean a transcendence. You know what, dude? That's like a tangent on a whole new Daily Fuel. So I'm gonna read this one again and talk about it because I feel like I could start riffing on that, and then we'll be here another half an hour. And I need water. So thank you for that comment. You can have the booby prize, Nathan, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I always appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow.